Jamaica, the land of great talent, sunshine, and breathtaking beauty. Don't let me get started on the good food and music and the friendly people. Yet behind this idyllic facade lies a stark reality, a nation grappling with the crippling effects of crime and violence. I'm doing a series of videos, this is the first one, hoping to shed light on this issue and suggestion on how we can come together and play our part on making our Jamaica paradise shine again like the sun. For too long, Jamaica has been plagued by a wave of lawlessness, casting a long shadow over its otherwise vibrant spirit. From the bustling streets of Kingston to the tranquil countryside, the fear of crime is a constant companion. Tourists, drawn to our shores by the promise of paradise, are often warned about venturing beyond the confines of their resorts. But this is not the time for despair. The journey towards a safer Jamaica demands a collective effort, one that transcends political affiliations, social divides, and economic disparities. The impact of crime in Jamaica is far-reaching, permeating every facet of our society. Businesses are forced to close their doors, crippled by the constant threat of extortion and violence. Tourism, a vital source of revenue for our nation, suffers as potential visitors are deterred by safety concerns. I invited some American friends to come vacation in Jamaica with me, and was embarrassed when they refused, stating that it was too dangerous. We must change that narrative. Beyond the economic impact, crime has eroded the very fabric of our society. We have become a nation of strangers, divided by fear and mistrust. Gone are the days when you could send your child miles from one district to another and not worry that you may never see them again. Growing up, I never feared that I would be robbed or get assaulted. While the headlines may scream of bloodshed and violence, please listen up. We must look beyond the surface to understand the root causes of this crisis. Crime in Jamaica is not simply a matter of individual wrongdoing, it is a symptom of deeper societal issues that have festered for far too long. Right, please give this video a like now and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Share the vid and help us grow the channel. Leave your thoughts below. Poverty, lack of education, and unemployment are not just statistics, they are the breeding ground for despair, frustration, and ultimately, crime. Did you hear what I just said? Let me repeat. Poverty, lack of education, and unemployment are not just statistics, they are the breeding ground for despair, frustration, and ultimately, crime. Let me tell you a thing. I was a young child growing up in Kingston at the time, and I did not know how poor our neighbors were. I did see that every day Miss B would send Rosie, my friend, her daughter, to the shop across the street to buy a pound of mixed flour. That is flour with a little cornmeal. And she would put the pot on the stove, make the flour into dumplings, and boil them. When it was ready, she gets the plastic bowls out and put 2 small dumplings in each for all the 8 children and herself and husband. Let me tell you, this particular evening when one of the sons came up to the table and picked up his plate, he started to mutter, "Dumpling, dumpling, dumpling," until it turned out into a great bawling, and he was never the same ever since. That trauma took root in me as well, and I never forget the experience. When young people are denied access to daily balanced meal, quality education, and meaningful employment opportunities, they become vulnerable to the allure of criminal activity. We need a multi-pronged approach that tackles the root causes of crime, while simultaneously strengthening law enforcement and promoting social services for family and children, as well as a social justice system that works. Instead of saying "laud the boy bad," to effectively combat the scourge of crime that has gripped Jamaica, we must first understand the complex interplay of factors that contribute to its existence. Crime, in its various forms, often takes root in the fertile soil of social and economic inequality, where desperation and lack of opportunity leave individuals feeling trapped and forgotten. Poverty, a persistent stain on the fabric of Jamaican society, creates a breeding ground for criminal activity. The allure of quick money through illegal means becomes a tempting, albeit dangerous, solution to alleviate immediate suffering. The sense of hopelessness and frustration that arises from this systemic disadvantage can manifest in anger, resentment, and ultimately, criminal behavior. The cycle of poverty and violence is a vicious one, with each element feeding the other in a self-perpetuating loop. Poverty often breeds environments where violence becomes normalized, where disputes are settled with fists or weapons rather than dialogue or legal recourse. Criminal gangs, often born out of these impoverished communities, offer a perverse sense of belonging, purpose, and financial security that legitimate avenues cannot provide. Like I said before, breaking this cycle requires a multifaceted approach that addresses both the root causes of poverty and the normalization of violence. By empowering individuals, particularly the youth, with the tools and resources they need to succeed, we can begin to dismantle the cycle of poverty and violence. Education, often hailed as the great equalizer, holds immense potential to break down the barriers of poverty and reduce crime in Jamaica. A quality education empowers individuals with critical thinking skills, expands their worldviews, and opens doors to a wider range of opportunities. However, the sad reality is that Jamaica's education system, while showing signs of progress, still faces significant challenges. Unequal access to quality education, particularly in marginalized communities, perpetuates the cycle of poverty and limits the life choices of countless young people. By providing every child, regardless of their socioeconomic background, with access to a quality education, we can equip them with the knowledge, skills, and values they need to become productive members of society. Despite the daunting challenges, there are glimmers of hope emerging from the heart of Jamaica's struggle against crime. Grassroots organizations led by passionate individuals are working tirelessly to create safe spaces, provide opportunities for at-risk youth, and foster a culture of peace. Men and women, once trapped in the cycle of violence themselves, are now dedicating their lives to guiding young people towards a brighter path. Take, for instance, the story of a community in West Kingston, once notorious for its gang violence. Through the tireless efforts of a local pastor, a peace treaty was brokered between rival gangs, allowing children to play freely in the streets and businesses to thrive without fear. Community policing, bridging the divide, rebuilding trust. For too long, there has been a disconnect between law enforcement and the communities they serve. Community policing, however, offers a different approach, one that emphasizes collaboration, understanding, and mutual respect. By building relationships with community members, understanding their concerns, and working together to find solutions, we can create a safer environment for everyone. This is the essence of community policing, building bridges of understanding and trust. Restorative justice, healing wounds, righting wrongs. Restorative justice offers an alternative approach, one that focuses on healing, rehabilitation, and reconciliation. Instead of simply punishing offenders, restorative justice seeks to address the harm caused by crime by bringing together all parties affected, victims, offenders, and community members, to find a resolution that promotes healing and accountability. Imagine a young man, caught up in a life of crime, facing the consequences of his actions, not through a prison sentence but through a face-to-face meeting with the victim of his crime. This is the transformative power of restorative justice. Taking back our streets, a call to action for every Jamaican. The fight against crime in Jamaica is not a battle for the faint of heart, nor is it the sole responsibility of the government or law enforcement. It demands the unwavering commitment of every citizen, a collective effort to reclaim our communities from the grip of violence and fear. We must shed the cloak of apathy and rise to the challenge, each playing our part to restore peace and tranquility to our beloved Jamaica. We must move beyond the bystander effect, the dangerous silence that allows crime to flourish. It's time to speak out against violence, to report suspicious activities, to support our neighbors, and to be vigilant in our communities. Empowering our youth, nurturing potential, preventing crime. Jamaica's youth are our greatest asset, brimming with potential and eager to contribute to their nation's progress. Yet, they are also the most vulnerable to the lure of criminal activity, often enticed by the false promises of easy money and a sense of belonging that gangs offer. To break this cycle, we must invest in our youth, providing them with the tools and opportunities they need to thrive. By investing in our youth, we are investing in the future of Jamaica, creating a generation equipped to build a brighter, safer, and more prosperous nation. Let us begin to fight for our youths now. Building bridges, not walls. The power of community. The fight against crime is not a solitary pursuit. It requires a united front, a collective effort that transcends social and economic divides. We must move beyond the fear and mistrust that often isolates us, choosing instead to build bridges of understanding and cooperation within our communities. Community initiatives, driven by the passion and commitment of local residents, play a vital role in crime prevention. By working together, we can create a network of support, fostering a sense of belonging and shared responsibility for the well-being of our communities. Remember the sayings, "It takes a village." Train up a child in the way he shall go, and when he gets older, he will not depart from the training. The Catholic Church said, "Give me a child from birth to 7, and he will always be a Catholic." Early education is key for our youths. Lessons from abroad: global strategies for a safer Jamaica. While Jamaica grapples with the complex issue of crime, we are not alone in this struggle. Across the globe, nations have faced similar challenges and emerged with innovative strategies that have significantly reduced crime rates and fostered safer societies. Examining these success stories offers valuable insights, providing a roadmap for Jamaica to adapt and implement effective solutions tailored to our unique context. By carefully studying these models, identifying key principles and adapting them to our specific needs, Jamaica can learn from the successes and failures of others, charting a path towards a safer and more secure future. Singapore's success story: discipline, rehabilitation, and community engagement. Take a look at Singapore's journey towards safety and security offers valuable lessons for Jamaica. Their success combines tough penalties with rehabilitation and community engagement. Strict laws are rigorously enforced, deterring criminal behavior. Rehabilitation programs provide education, vocational training, and counseling. This reduces recidivism and fosters a safer, inclusive society. From conflict to calm: Northern Ireland's journey of peacebuilding. Northern Ireland's journey from sectarian conflict to peace offers insights into community engagement and restorative justice. Emerging from the Troubles, Northern Ireland has made strides in healing and building a peaceful future. True peace requires addressing conflict's root causes, fostering reconciliation, and rebuilding trust. Community-based organizations bring together former enemies to engage in dialogue and share stories. These encounters provide a safe space for forgiveness and healing. The role of government beyond law enforcement towards social justice. Law enforcement is crucial, but the government's role extends beyond policing. Addressing crime's root causes requires social justice, economic opportunity, and community empowerment. A proactive strategy focuses on prevention and intervention. Addressing poverty and inequality is crucial to breaking the cycle of crime. What do you think? Investing in education and job creation is not merely an expenditure, it's an investment in Jamaica's future, a down payment on a safer and more prosperous society. Are you willing to help Jamaican youths? By equipping our citizens with the skills and knowledge they need to compete in the global economy, we can break the cycle of poverty that often leads to crime, right? This means ensuring that every child in Jamaica, regardless of their background or socioeconomic status, has access to quality education and social services from early childhood through higher education. It means expanding vocational training programs, equipping young people with the skills they need to secure well-paying jobs in growing industries, and providing balanced daily meals, access to medical care and school supplies, proper living conditions, and proper clothing. Furthermore, the government should create incentives for businesses to invest in Jamaica, creating jobs and stimulating economic growth. This could involve tax breaks, streamlined regulations, and investments in infrastructure that support business development. By fostering a thriving economy, we create opportunities for all Jamaicans to succeed, reducing the lure of criminal activity and building a more equitable and prosperous society. While law enforcement plays a vital role in maintaining order, our justice system should be as much about rehabilitation as it is about punishment. We need a system that holds offenders accountable for their actions, while also providing them with opportunities for redemption and reintegration into society. This requires a shift in focus from simply incarcerating individuals to addressing the underlying issues that contribute to criminal behavior. This means investing in programs within prisons that provide inmates with education, job training, and counseling, equipping them with the tools they need to turn their lives around and become productive members of society upon release. Beyond rehabilitation within prisons, we need to strengthen support systems for ex-offenders re-entering society. This could involve providing assistance with housing, job placement, and counseling to help them successfully reintegrate and avoid falling back into criminal behavior. By investing in rehabilitation and reintegration, we break the cycle of crime and create a safer and more just society for all. The relationship between law enforcement and communities has been strained by mistrust and fear. To build a safer Jamaica, we must transform police from enforcers to guardians of peace. This shift requires respect, empathy, and community engagement. Training programs must equip officers to de-escalate conflicts and build relationships. Imagine a police force reflecting community diversity, recruited for compassion and communication. Imagine encountering police with respect and shared responsibility for safety. To truly earn the trust of the community, law enforcement must be held accountable for its actions. Transparency, accountability, and a zero-tolerance policy for corruption are essential for rebuilding faith in the justice system and ensuring that all citizens are treated fairly and justly, regardless of their background or social standing. This requires establishing independent oversight bodies to investigate allegations of police misconduct, ensuring that complaints are handled swiftly and impartially. It means implementing body cameras and other technologies that promote transparency and deter abuse of power. Furthermore, we must address the systemic issues within the justice system that disproportionately impact marginalized communities. This includes tackling racial profiling, implicit bias, and the overrepresentation of certain groups within the criminal justice system. By addressing these injustices, we create a more equitable and just society for all. The journey towards a safer Jamaica will be long and challenging. There will be setbacks and moments of darkness, yet we must never surrender to despair. Within every Jamaican beats an unyielding spirit and a deep love for our island. Our true wealth lies in the resilience of our people. We have a history of transforming struggle into triumph. The spirit that fueled our independence will guide us to a safer society. This task requires a collective effort. Building a safer Jamaica demands unity and compassion. Embrace one love, mentor our youth, and stand up for justice. The path is challenging, but the destination is worth it. Let us rise together to reclaim our future. Usher in a brighter dawn for Jamaica, where peace reigns always. Thank you.